the Eye of Agamotto, the moon haunts you! By the Eye of Agamotto!
I am ready to put on a show!
Armed and dangerous! Fantastic!
Marvel Rivals is the newest, hottest game on the block, and everyone's talking about it. Ever since it popped up in December, it's getting attention from everyone and looks like it's going to be the next big thing. Which is surprising considering the wave of free-to-play games with Battle Pass and premium skins. But you'd think it sort of would fade into the awful licensed game Miasma. But no, for the 2 months since its release, it has been the biggest game. Lots of games released in 2024, and some of them even in the same competitive hero shooter genre as Marvel Rivals. Like the most infamous game of 2024, Concord. The PS5's a big new exclusive game which cost them $400 million to make, and whose servers stayed online for about 2 weeks altogether. It somehow only managed about 700 simultaneous players on Steam, whereas right now Marvel Rivals is at a minimum of 100,000. Part of that is probably down to each game's character and art design, which is probably the most talked about part of Concord. Like, compare Concord's robot One-Off, who looks like a futuristic bin, to Marvel's Penny Parker and her Spider-Mech. Instead of just being a walking cylinder someone got paid way too much to design, the Spider-Mech has actual distinctive features like the spider face, the yellow lines down the side of it to look like mandibles which give it some theming, the massive shoulders that rotate into her main cannons to make it clear when she is and isn't attacking, and the fact that it has more than one fucking colour probably also helps. Marvel Rivals obviously has the advantage of having a massive IP attack to help build their world around, but that's not all it takes to get yourself a successful game. Yeah, it's not a hero shooter, but look at something like Multiverses. It's a game that had everything going for it, and looked like it would make a massive impact in the fighting game world, especially after its wide popularity in beta, but somehow they messed it up. Multiverses had the backing of one of the biggest media giants in Warner Brothers to make the big Smash Bros style crossover work. It's a game I've talked about a few times already, so I won't go into all of it again. But with WB behind it, it's obviously got DC superheroes like Batman, Superman and Wonder Woman all in it, so I'm considering it a competitor to Marvel Rivals. In theory, just these characters being here should help make the game popular. I mean, it's the best Wonder Woman and Superman games by default. But now, just a year after its full release, Multiverses also finds itself on death's door, after they recently announced that the game's next season will be its last, and it shuts down on May 30th, leaving those poor people who spent £100 on a free-to-play online game surprisingly annoyed. But obviously, the biggest competition for Marvel Rivals is the game that it took the most inspiration from. A game that's been compared to at literally every step of the way, Overwatch. Or more accurately now, Overwatch 2. Both games are MOBA-inspired team-based hero shooters with a lot of characters spread over 3 distinct classes that are best described as heavies that tank all the damage, healers doing all the actual work, and DPS who will get 3 kills and still be toxic. But to be fair, that description could probably be used for a lot of different games in the hero shooter genre. Where the main similarities really start to come in is the heroes. I mean, Hawkeye in Marvel Rivals is basically the same as Overwatch Atlanta. A sniper with a bow and arrow who can one-shot kill any non-tank character. He's even got similar abilities like his double jump and spread arrows to get out of dangerous close quarter situations. But that's just the start. Some characters that basically stole whole concepts from Overwatch. Compare Cloak and Dagger in Marvel Rivals to Overwatch's Moira. Both are healers with the whole theme of duality baked into their playstyle. It's light and dark for Cloak and Dagger, and Earth and healing for Moira. Both of these characters have an ability which can be used for healing or harming. Moira has her orbs, and Cloak and Dagger have the light and dark force veils. And just to top it off, Cloak's main attack is exactly the same as Moira's. Then there's characters like Hulk, who are basically just an amalgamation of two Overwatch characters. He's a tank who's most powerful at closer ranges with a massive jump ability, but when he runs out of health he turns into a smaller form with a machine pistol. His ultimate makes him normal again. Hulk's ultimate makes him angry, which means all his melee attacks do loads of knockback and more damage. So in Overwatch terms, he's basically D.Va mixed with Winston. There's so many more of these examples you can pick. Like Star-Lord's just Tracer but with a Soldier 76 ult. Winter Soldier's McCree but fun. Punchers like Bastion, Brute's just a tankier Mei. You can go on forever. But if it's just an Overwatch knockoff, why in any way has it become so popular? It obviously helps that Overwatch 2 has completely shit the bed, but Marvel Rivals has something more to set it apart. While Overwatch has tried to be competitive and has overbalanced everything to the point of boredom, Marvel Rivals is currently at a state where almost everything is completely broken, which brings everything in the game to its own middle ground, because when everything's overpowered, nothing is. Pretty much every ult in this game is completely stupid. Like, just watch Punisher's ultimate where he turns into a damaged machine and everything around him dies. Winter Soldier just cuts off a fifth of their health bar, and every time you get a kill it instantly refills. If I could get an ace with this, anyone can. Spider-Man has a 0 to death combo like he's in a fighting game. Unlike Overwatch, they even managed to make the tanks and healers actually fun to play. Like, I usually play Doctor Strange, and every 3 minutes you get to put down 2 portals that teleport everything and anything that goes through them. So you can just launch people's ults with them, teleport your team straight onto the point, or even piss off people by putting portals in the other team's spawns to teleport them off the map. Magneto sucks in every projectile and turns them into a meteor for his ultimate. Venom has the most insane mobility. A tank should quite frankly never be able to move this fast and avoid damage this much. Penny is truly disgusting. Here I got targeted by Wolverine, who brought me back to his team so they could target and kill me, but my ult just ended up giving me 2 free kills to them instead and completely killing their push. But where everything gets really mental is with the healers. Cloak and Dagger and the Invisible Woman just make areas where the team is constantly healed, so it's basically unkillable when they're in it. Adam Warlock has a whole team Resurrection, which can completely flip games when used right. Remember when that was in Overwatch and then they took it out because people were having too much fun with it? Luna Snow is another healer with an insane ult where she can just make the whole team invincible. She just stands there dancing for 12 whole seconds, constantly pumping health into her teammates and herself, which will basically make everyone unkillable unless you can do like 300 damage in one shot. Then there's Loki, who can just copy her with his ultimate to make that unkillable 12 seconds into an unkillable 24 seconds. But what if you kill the unkillable? What if you didn't need to do any damage to kill someone? Just instantly wipe them. This is the power of Jeff, the mighty Landshark. With nothing but good timing, Jeff can swallow the whole team and from there they are helpless, just spectating, waiting their fate. The smart Jeff will jump off the map with the enemy team, bringing down everyone to their death. In the right hand, this wipes teams and ends game. Or you could be like this Loki who I played with, who copied me when I was playing Jeff. He decided that just playing badly wasn't enough for winning the game. I went as far as to swallow his team and take us off the map with him. The absolute peak of throwing. This was his highlight of the game as well. This would never go in a game like Overwatch. It's way too wide for a triple murder suicide from your own teammates. So what is it that has separated Marvel Rivals from Overwatch and led Rivals to succeed while Overwatch slowly dies? Well, Marvel Rivals is just more fun. They allow every character to feel powerful in their own way and feel like they can sway the game with just one well-timed ultimate or perfect decision. In Overwatch, sometimes you feel powerless to the healers change the game and too weak to the tank to do any damage. Sometimes it feels like you have to rely on the DPS to finish all of the enemies for you. This powerlessness naturally means that nobody actually wants to play as a tank or healer in Overwatch, because it never feels like you're doing anything in the moment. This eventually led them to introducing role queue in ranked play, a system where you have to decide which character class you're going to play before the game. This obviously made the game even more boring and stagnant, and completely restricted the freedom of the game, as you can't freely switch characters to counter your opponents. You see, Marvel Rivals doesn't need this. They're focused on making healers and tanks actually fun to play for once. As always, DPS is the most popular character class, probably because it's got the most popular characters in it, like Spider-Man, Iron Man and Wolverine. But you can usually rely on having a tank and at least 2 healers, because people actually like to play those characters, and there's always some interesting abilities that come about. Overwatch started struggling, but it became Overwatch 2 and fully adopted the free-to-play model Overwatch 1 was flirting with before. It introduced a premium battle pass where you had to pay to unlock heroes, a decision they eventually reversed, as it completely destroyed the game's balance, and certain people haven't unlocked certain characters. Then Marvel Rivals comes along with a free-to-play model and all characters unlocked from the beginning. And all of this anticipation from which Marvel character they can add next, and the cool new abilities that they can bring to the game. Marvel Rivals' combination of solid IP to base everything off, brought in with a great art style and character designs, while with having the balls to actually make characters ridiculously powerful, has led Marvel Rivals to kill all of its competitors, even against some of the biggest and most established competition that's had players addicted for years now. Basically, Overwatch 2 shit its pants so that Marvel Rivals could run. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, why don't you subscribe and maybe watch another one? I'd quite like that.